I want to talk for a moment about what it means to daven with a minyan and what it doesn't mean to daven with a minyan. And what I'm about to share is something which I've shared before, but it bears repeating, even at a time when there's a pandemic, when so many people continue to join us from their homes and to join online. But I think the question is the same, whether you are davening in person, as we are doing a bit of on Shabbat morning now, or you're still davening at home, because I hope that there will be a time, hopefully not too far off, when we'll be able to have more of a community together. The question really is about, do I need to be on the same page as the congregation, as the leader of the congregation? And I think that even though I've taught this many times, it bears repeating because I get this question very often. As a rabbi, I have to decide how often I want to call pages, tell people what page we're on. And actually right now, with so many people unable to ask their neighbor because they're at home, I'm calling pages a lot, more than I would if the congregation was together in person. And I think that every time I do it, I, unfortunately, am reinforcing the wrong value. We're on page 55, we're on page 103. It's as if I'm saying to you, you should be on page 55. You should be on page 103. Stick with us, come along. And of course, I'm happy to have you come along. But what I don't mean to emphasize is that you need to be on the same page. I don't really want you to be on the same page unless that happens to be the page that you want to be on. We don't accomplish the goals of davening by being on the right page. Of course, there are a few prayers that are really meant to be said with the community. Kaddish, Mourner's Kaddish, the Kedusha, and there are a few others. It's good to be with the community. But in general, you should be davening not with the congregation, but I would say in proximity to the people around you. There's a tremendous value in our tradition to davening as a community. Some other time I'll talk more about what the reason for that is. But some of it is quite obvious. Just the idea of community is a value. But tefillah, prayer, is service of the heart. And under no circumstances can service of the heart be equated with being on the right page. So what does that really mean for you? What I hope it means is that you will feel free to join the congregation for the parts that you want to join for, and that you will say the rest of the prayers at your own speed. You want to be on one particular page for 10 minutes? That's great. If it's meaningful to you, you are offering something of yourself through the words, which are a tool for prayer. It's going to take you 10 minutes. It's going to take you an hour, however long it takes. Great. To do that with a community of people who are also sharing of themselves with God, great. All the better. But do not hear me saying page 55 and think, oh, I better get to page 55. That is only me saying, if you want to know where we are in the service, here's where we are. Take it or leave it. But for you, what is most critical, I hope, and for every person who is davening, is to serve God through their heart by offering prayers, by preparing to stand before God, and then standing before God, offering something of ourselves. You don't need to be on the same page as me to do that. Shabbat Shalom.